Hey, digital animation. What's going on? I'm here to talk to you about blend shapes and how to make them and how to do them as fast as possible. So I want to just redo my 2 lectures into one little short demo. So I will be going fast. Just a reminder, you can pause and you can rewind this demo as we move along. So super fast way how to make blend shapes. All right, so blend shapes are expressions, facial expressions, only facial expressions, and I want you to make 12. So I gave you a suggestion of 12, but if you want to do some other different combination, like instead you want to come up with 6 eyes and 6 mouths, whatever it is. Or you can do 3 different eyes, but left and right, and then 3 different mouths, left and right. There's a lot of different ways I've explained how to make this, but you need 12 different facial expressions. So what you do is you have your nice clean character in your T-pose, or you've grabbed Mario from my share drive, and you're going to do a save as, right? And I'm just going to call it, instead of Barry Rig Ready, I'm going to call it Barry Blends Start, just for the demo's sake. So I have cleaned them up, but just for the sake of just being safe, I'm going to go to Edit and hit Delete All by Type Channels in case he was keyframed to spin around. And then I'm also going to select everything here, and I'm going to go to Freeze Transformations, and I'm going to double check a few things here. I'm going to go to my channel box, and I'm going to rename my character's polygonal mesh is already named Barry, but I can always change that, Barry the Bear or whatever. But I didn't name my spheres. My spheres should be left eye, right eye. So this is his left eye. And this sphere is his right eye. So you want to try to name everything so that nothing is just like cube 1. Or like, so you can keep track of stuff. Because when you have a full scene, it starts to get really messy really fast. Now that he's all named, I just want to do one more thing. I want to go Modify Freeze Transformations. That resets all these down to 0 and 1, which looks like they've already been done. And then I'm going to select everything again and go Edit, Delete by Type History. And that really cleans up all the junk here, or if you're in the attribute editor, it cleans up all these extra little tabs. Now I just have my shaders, and I don't have any of that extra junk. Okay, let's close those. All right, can hit Save. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy him or duplicate him 12 times. So I'll have a total of 13. So I'm just going to hit Command D. That gets me 1 bear, Command D, 2 bear, Command D, 3 bear, Command D, 4 bear. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to select those 4 copies, Command D, and now I have 4 more on top, and 1 more set, Command D, 4 more on the bottom. Now I have 12. And what I'm going to do is these are going to be my eyes, these are going to be my mouths, and these are going to be like my ears. So, keep your original. Excuse me. Don't touch that. And what I want you to do is you're going to manipulate the faces. Now, you cannot use anything under Mesh Tools. You can't add geometry. You can't extrude. You can't add an edge loop. You can't multi-cut. You have to keep the geometry mesh exactly the same. But what you can do is you can manipulate the current geometry that you have. So this is my top row, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'll make some angry eyes just for a quick demonstration, right? And just give you a few reminders. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to go to the channel box, and I'm going to change it. Notice it says Barry 8. I'm going to try to keep this a very consistent name here. So I'm going to go eyes are in lowercase, and then underscore angry, right? Or I can put grimace or squint, right? If I don't want to put an emotion to it. Now I'm only doing the eyes, I'm not doing a whole face. And the reason why is I can have angry eyes with a smile, which makes me look maniacal, or I can have angry eyes with a frown, which makes me look really upset, right? So different emotions can be combined with different facial expression. So my mouth with different mouth expressions with different eye expressions create different emotions. So don't just try to make one facial emotion. Try to have stuff set for the eyes and stuff set for the mouth, and maybe other stuff set for the nose, right? Okay, a couple of tips here. When I'm playing with my geometry, one thing that's really going to help me is to add symmetrical selection. I can do that in 2 places. I can either double click my arrow, because we're also going to play with soft selection, but down here where it says symmetry selection, I have symmetry. I'm going to choose object X. The other place I can change it is right up here. You notice it also changed here, so I can also choose object X up here in case I don't want to go to my channel control. The other thing we're going to play with a little bit is soft selection in a second, but I'm going to not employ that right away. I'm going to get that when I get to the brow part. So now that I have symmetrical selection checked on object X, now what I'm going to do is just going to adjust the eyes to make them look like they're kind of angrily squinting. So I'll go to an edge, and I'll select that edge right there. Notice it selects the opposite side. I'm going to hit scale. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to select the one right next to it. I'm going to hit scale. Oop, and he's already looking angry. Now it looks like I might need to select both of them. Maybe pull those down. Ooh, he's getting angry. Now be careful. This is why we duplicate the eyes as well. This way I know my geometry is not poking through the eyes, or the eyes aren't poking through the geometry. So you want to be very careful when you're sculpting this, that you really kind of keep the eyes in play as well. Okay, maybe even smaller. Ooh, now he's getting angry. And then maybe when we squint, sometimes we pull the backs of the eyes also kind of pull forward. And I might even go to vertex for a second and raise this vertice up. Now, this is where I wanted to get into soft selection. So I could probably raise this, but it's not affecting any other piece. Because when we're not just dealing with our vertexes here. A lot more stuff happens in our face when we squint, or we droop, or there's other muscles in our face that do these things. So what I like to do is I like to go to soft select. And remember, the trick to soft select is to play with this drop off, the fall off radius. Right now it's affecting a lot of the surrounding area, and it's not affecting the bottom too much. Let's see what happens when I pull this up. It's going to pull the majority. But notice it's raising the top brow too. I gotta pull it out. There we go. So it's kind of contorting other parts to a degree. And then this one, maybe not. Now, I'm gonna grab that vertex and pull that up. Maybe it's probably affecting too much of this upper part, because I really kind of like that upper arc now. So what I'm gonna do is, with my fall off radius, I'm gonna change it down to like 0.12. And there, now it's only affecting this area. I can kind of really, that's some angry eyes. And, get these, oops. And to turn it on and off quickly, I can use the B button. So I might want to just, and because I have symmetrical selection on, I don't have to keep shift selecting the other side. It makes it nice and easy. Something like that, and then, let's see. There you go. There you go. Those look very determined, angry eyes. And, sometimes when we do angry eyes, we're also scrunching our forehead. So I like to kind of pull this forward a little bit, bring it down. Oh yeah. All right. I repeat this process for the eyes, the mouth, and the ears. So I don't want to just kind of quickly demonstrate every single one. But what you're going to do is, now they got angry eyes, you're going to move on to the next one. And you're going to rename it, oops, don't lock that. You're going to go here and you're going to name it droop, or blink, or whatever facial expressions you need. You probably want a blink or closed eyes, all that stuff. Then you'll go down to your next set, and you'll do mouth, right? So the same thing applies here. Like when I wanted to do a closed mouth, right? I can probably go to edges. I still have my object on. Might actually wind up doing soft select as well. We'll see. Oops. Why did that do that? That was weird. Let's see. There we go. There. And let's say this one's going to be a closed mouth, right? So I'm going to go through, and that's not how I'm going to actually close his mouth, but let's just pretend for a second. And then I'm going to type in mouth underscore closed. And then I'm going to do mouth underscore smile and mouth underscore frown, okay? So you're going to go through and model each one of these, okay? Get ready to time travel. So just to quickly, all right. All right. So here I've now time traveled, and I have all of my facial expressions. So I have a closed eyes. He's not completely closed, but I'm just going to let it live. I'm going to have angry, and notice I'm labeling them all correctly up here. I have open, like a wider open eyes compared to the original, right? Like when he gets surprised or startled. And then I have a droop. to kind of be sad or sleepy. And then I have different mouth expressions as well. This one's more open. Oh, these are his ears, sorry. The ears get bigger, the ears get smaller, the ears lean forward, and the ears go back, kind of like when a dog's excited. And then I have a smile. I'm not too crazy about the smile, but I want it to be done to demonstrate the rest in time. I have a frown. I kind of like his frown. Closed mouth and open mouth. And it looks kind of like Teddy Ruxpin when you put it all together. All right. So now that I have all my expressions, I'm going to do another save as, Command-Shift save as, and maybe I'll call it Barry Blends Expressions. I'm just going to put demo for the sake of remembering that this is from my demo. Okay, now to put these all together, we are going to select them in a very particular order. The order in which you select them is how they're going to show up on the list. So what I like to do is make sure I grab all my eyes, and I like to grab the more frequent ones first. So here's my... I'm probably going to go to blink first. And notice I'm not selecting the eyeballs. I'm just selecting characters. So I'm going to go blink, shift select angry, then open, then droop. I might not ever use droop. Same thing for the mouth. I'm going to kind of pick the order in which I'm going to use them. I'm going to probably put the ears at the end. So now I'm going to do, he's probably going to be closing and opening his mouth more frequently than everything else. So I'm going to do close, then open, and then smile, then frown. And now I'm going to go to the ears here, and I'm definitely going to want to use the ears going back like he's excited, like a dog. That's going to be my more frequent one, so I choose that one first, then this guy, then this guy, then this guy. The most important thing is, like, you can pick them in any order you want, but the thing you got to remember is you have to pick the original one last. So the one that is unaffected, the one that was not modeled, the original. So what we do is when our original character is the last selected one, you want to make sure he's green, you go up here to Deform, Blend Shape Options, and what I like to do is give a name for it. So I just call it like Face Expressions, just in case I have more blends later. What some people do is they do this process for the eyes, and they make that one list, and then they do another process for the ears, and that's another list. So they do this like maybe 3 or 4 times, all for different aspects. And then I'm going to uncheck delete targets because I want to just make sure it works right before I do it. And then I'm going to hit advanced. I don't need to do anything in advanced. The deformation order is automatic, so you could actually switch besides the way you're clicking on it, but let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to hit apply. Boom. And now, result facial expressions. That means we're doing a good job. And now what I can do is I'm going to test it before deleting everything. And so I'm going to go up here to Window, Animation Editor, Shape Editor, and now I'm going to just test them. And with these sliders here, it's blink. Ooh, he's blinking, or he's getting angry. And then where's mouth open? Just checking the more frequent ones. I can test all of them if I want, but I'm going to do that when I turn this in. Ears forward, ears back. This works beautifully. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do another save as. Doop, and now instead of calling it Barry Blends, I'm going to call it Barry Blended Demo, just for keeping track of everything. And now I can delete everything except for the original. So I'm going to get these guys, shift select these guys, shift select these guys. And don't forget to delete the eyeballs, because otherwise that looks really freaky. Just a whole bunch of eyeballs floating around. All right, now that I'm done with this part, here's what you're going to do. I'm just going to leave this on screen for a while. So you've saved it again, so I'm just going to hit save again. He is now officially blended. I'm going to zoom in on his face nice and close. And what I'm going to do is every 10 frames, let me get this to 1. Every 10 frames, I'm going to keyframe one facial expression on and one facial expression off, and then I'm going to play blast that. So here's how you do that part. So that's what I'm going to name it. I'm going to put that at the bottom. And now I'm going to plop this here, zoom in here, and I'm going to back to Window, Animation Editor, Shape Editor, and I'm just going to go through frame 1. I'm going to keyframe the first one at 0. I'm going to move up about 10 frames. I'm going to turn that one on to 10, and then I'm going to keyframe the next one at 0. Oops, and I got to turn on auto key. Auto key is right down here in the right-hand corner. And now I'm going to move another 10 frames here to here, boop, and then I'm going to keyframe the one right below it at 0. And I just repeat that process. 30, turn 1 down, turn one up. Auto key is turning him, is keyframing him, and then I just have to establish that next one. Then I'm going to go to quality, pull this one down, pull this one up. Next one is 0, 50. Pull this one down, pull this one up, 0, 60, down, up, 0. I'm going to do the whole thing in front of you. You can, if you get this pattern, you can skip forward to the play lasting part, or you can just sit here and just watch me do it, because it's almost done. And I just want to show you how you play blast it. When we get done, the play blast name is at the bottom right here. And go here and pull that up, and then here. And pull this down, and pull this up, and then here, and then one more, and it's going to look like he's kind of having a little seizure. Not a little Caesar, but a little seizure. And let's see, that's good. I can actually trim this down to 130. 130, boop, hit play, and now he's demonstrated every single face I've done. Perfect. All right, so just right-click, Play Blast Options, go to Browse, names right here, _charblends, _last name, and go ahead and turn that in to the Submit folder. All right, hope that works, hope that helps you out. Oops, I didn't have it in the right spot. Make sure when you are play blasting, good, this is why we learn. Send it to the wrong spot, make sure you're sending it to your desktop, _char blends last name. Woo! Hit save, play blast. Have a fantastic, and one, there it goes. Boom. Turn that into the submit folder and you're good to go. Later.